There are moments when your whole career shifts. Moments you never expect, moments you're not ready for. For me, it was one single day when I said yes to something terrifying, delivering my very first training session without any prior experience. It changed everything, my confidence, my credibility, and my entire mindset. And here's what exactly happened and why stepping into discomfort will change your life too. I am a management consultant and content creator, and for most of my life and career, my mind has always tried to steer me away from uncomfortable experiences, things like public speaking or stepping into new roles I didn't feel ready for. I thought I needed more experience, more preparation, more reassurance. And like a lot of people, I defaulted to the path of least resistance. I would study, I would analyze, but rarely put myself in situations where I could truly fail. But that started to shift. Over the past year, I've been deliberately pushing myself into small discomfort, whether it's publishing videos, taking the lead in meetings, or saying yes to projects that scared me. And then came the moment that pushed it to a whole new level. Earlier this month, one of our clients requested a training session on data and AI for senior leadership team. It was short notice, and the catch was there was no one from our business transformation team available in Toronto. That's when someone on the team brought up my name. What if Nico could deliver the training? I wasn't even supposed to be part of this in the first place. I was not the obvious choice, but the opportunity came knocking. So then they ask, get trained quickly, learn the material fast, and deliver a full client-facing training session. Of course, my first instinct, absolutely not. I'd never done anything like this. I didn't want to crash and burn in front of a senior audience. But then a second voice kicked in, that inner voice I've been trying to listen to more. What if this is exactly the kind of challenge that would unlock the next version of me? Every major breakthrough I've had has come from discomfort. Maybe this was one more, so I just said yes. That was whole new territory here, and I dove into prep mode. I studied past decks, practiced my delivery out loud, anticipated tough questions, and I ran through material multiple times, recorded myself, and reviewed the footage. I even visualized the session the night before. Still, the morning, I was kind of nervous. My heart was pounding, my brain tried to come up with excuses. I had planned to arrive 30 minutes early to center myself and, go over my notes one last time and prep the room. But traffic had other plans for me this morning. I arrived literally 1 minute before the session was supposed to start at 8:59 a.m. So no time to breathe, no time to panic. I just walked in, plugged in my laptop, and started speaking. I focused on the first line, then the next. The audience was engaged, my voice steadied, and people took notes. They asked insightful questions, and instead of freezing, I started flowing. I responded, I adapted. I was not perfect, but I was effective, and more importantly, I was present. I walked out of that session knowing something irreversible had happened. I had crossed a line I couldn't cross anymore. And I had just proven to myself that I was capable of way more than what I thought. That one day gave me more momentum than months of passive learning. It gave me something that books and webinars never could give me. Proof. Just proof that I could perform under pressure. Proof that I could add value in new ways. Proof that I could do hard things and come out stronger. So yes, I gained confidence, but I also gained credibility internally. People started seeing me differently. They started trusting me more. The real shift was internal, honestly. I started seeing myself very differently. The biggest lesson here is that action beats knowledge every time. You can study, you can plan, you can analyze for months, but growth only happens when you actually step into the arena. Discomfort isn't a side effect of growth, it's entry fee, my friends. And discomfort is your signal for growth. In your personal life, it's having hard conversations, starting that side hustle, going to the gym after a long break. Professionally, it's volunteering to lead, sharing your ideas in a meeting, delivering that first training when you're terrified. Every time you step into discomfort, you expand your capabilities. And here's where the law of least effort comes in. Our brains are wired to keep us safe, to conserve energy, to avoid risk, and seek discomfort. That's why we procrastinate. That's why we avoid tough decisions. But here's the problem. The path of least resistance almost always leads to stagnation. Yeah, it's very comfortable, but it's also a trap. So how do you overcome it? Start by noticing the voice in your head that says, not today, or you're not ready for this, and recognize it as the law of least effort trying to keep you stuck. And then choose differently. Choose the hard thing. Say yes before you feel ready. You'll never feel 100% prepared anyway. Growth lives just outside your comfort zone. And once you experience that, you start building a new identity. Someone who takes action, someone who can be trusted, someone who grows. Since then, I've made it a rule, chase discomfort. Every meaningful win I've had recently traces back to a moment where I lean it in instead of falling back. Whether in career, content, relationship, or fitness, it's become my compass. So when something scares me, I just don't run anymore. I try and get curious, open my mind to it. Most people stay stuck not because they lack potential or ideas, but because they avoid the emotional friction of discomfort. It's easier to just stay in the loop of preparation than to step into uncertainty. But that's exactly where growth lives. So once you do the hard thing, even once you start to build a new identity, you become someone who follows through, someone who can be trusted, someone who evolves. So here's my challenge to you. What's one thing you're scared to say yes to? Just say yes. Take the leap. That might just be the moment that changes everything for you. If this resonated, hit like, it really helps, and subscribe if you want more honest, high leverage videos on growth and career acceleration. And drop a comment below. What discomfort are you going to chase this week? Until next time, take care.